Hey lovers, it is your host Dee Shields and we are wrapping up yet another Black History Month. Shout out to everyone who tunes in. I appreciate you. Know that I appreciate you. Please share. I see the numbers going up and I ask that you share, and share some more. It is going to be something in here that is either good for you or good for someone else. So please make sure that you share this episode. Today we are going to be talking why women who are over the age of 40 or 40 and up prefer boyfriends over, and we're going to talk about it. So make sure that you are sharing the episode. I know that I am live in some of the locations right now, or you may be listening to the playback, and that's okay. The episodes are available 24/7. So we're going to talk about why they prefer this and why you don't need to knock it, because there may be something more on the table these days that a lot of the old schools may not understand. So we're going to talk about it. Let's get a little crowd in. We'll be back in a few.
So you need a little break, huh? Boy, say you need a little space, yeah. Boy, is it 'cause you can't be faithful? Boy, hope she's cool, unlike you. You ain't ready for a girlfriend, no. 'Cause you think I'll steal your weekends, no. So you make up shitty reasons for want it out. See, I'm not even mad, boy, but I'm confused. Shouldn't you be keeping me at 10 when you're 2? I can't help but feel sympathetic, I do. You think you're bad, boy, but I feel bad for you. Think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, but I feel bad for you. I'm not even mad, I'm not even mad, I'm not mad, I just feel bad for you. I was pretty when I met you, now I'm prettier than ever, took a second to forget you, boy, only one. If you wanted to hurt me, well, you failed big time, 'cause I knew you would panic and run. I won't chase you, baby, I'm too good without. If you think that I'm crying, you're wrong. I'm not even mad, boy, but I'm confused. Shouldn't you be keeping me at 10 when you're 2? I can't help but feel sympathetic, I do. You think you're bad, boy, but I feel bad for you. Think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, but I feel bad for you. I'm not even mad, I'm not even mad, I'm not mad, I just feel bad for you. If you wanted to hurt me, well, you failed big time, 'cause I knew you would panic and run. I won't chase you, baby, I'm too good without. If you think that I'm crying, you're wrong. Think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, but I feel bad for you. I'm not even mad, I'm not even mad, I'm not mad.
All right, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. So, you know what? Vicky's not mad and neither am I. So thank you for that song, Bad for You. Listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm seeing so many posts, especially in the last probably couple of years, as people have been sitting at home in the pandemic, and they are extremely opinionated, and they think that they are so relevant as to what is going on in the world of relationships, and they have not seen the paradigm shift. There has been a major paradigm shift, and there are so many women that are sitting comfortable in their relationships that they are misunderstanding what they see outside of it. But even though you have people posting, you know what, if you have if you're 40 and up and you have a boyfriend and you're wasting your time, a woman should have a man that wants to marry her, blah, blah, blah. And you all always put it off on this concept as if to think that all 40 plus women want to get married. Well, contrary to that very unpopular belief, I need you guys to understand that it's been a paradigm shift, a major one. And there are a lot of women over 40 who prefer to have a boyfriend. They're not being neglected. They're not being, tramped on. They're not being, misunderstanding with the needs that they have. They understand who they are very much. And in understanding who they are, they have understood that they've had marriage. And maybe it failed, and maybe that marriage turned into a divorce. Maybe that marriage ended because of death. Maybe that marriage ended for a lot of other reasons that marriages end, right? And that, with that being said, they're going, you know what? I'm going to live my life. And they want to go in this season of living their life, and they really don't want to be hankered down. What's the word? They don't want to have the title of wife. That's your desire to have the title of wife. That may not be everyone's desire. Some people say, I've already been somebody's wife. So when this guy comes along, he's going to be my boyfriend for a minute until I can figure out what it is that I want to do. Some people want to take some time to just balance their lives, and getting into a marriage and having to marry into who this guy is, and marry into who his in-laws are, and marry to who his children are, and marry into who his baby mamas are. Some people do not want that dark energy in their world. So why not just have a boyfriend that they go across town and see here and there, right? So it's your thought that something is wrong with you if he won't marry you. Maybe she has verbalized this already to him, and he is on the same page as her, and he has said, you know what, I'm good, I'm 40 plus, and I just want a girlfriend right now. Maybe everyone isn't into marriage. So don't knock the fact that there are women that are 40 plus with boyfriends. That you're real old fashioned in your mindset when you think that that's something odd. That is not how people think these days. There are a lot of people with a lot of things that are different. There's the one thing that people have been talking about a lot about how people are living on different coasts, West Coast, East Coast, and they're in relationships, and sometimes in committed relationships, but they're living on different sides of the nation, sometimes even living on different sides of the world, and happy with that commitment, knowing that they may only see that person every 3 months, and they are good with that. Not everyone needs somebody underneath their tummy every 5 seconds to solidify that they're in love. That's a very old-fashioned mindset, and many, many people are moving away from that. Should it be? Who knows? I don't know. You can critique that to the end of time. But the reality is that there are a lot of women that are cool with just saying, that's my guy. That's my boyfriend. And they are not wanting to claim it as a fiance. They don't want to claim it as a husband. I've already said, stop calling them a husband when they don't want to be called one anyway. Right? You guys always try to label people a certain way, and that situation is not in that status. That's just your mind that's where that situation would be, because you think that by these biblical principles that you follow, that's the only way to go. And there are many people who say, you know what? I've learned the art of free will. And I know that you have been bamboozled to think that you can't think on your own, but I actually do think on my own. And in thinking on my own, I have this ability to know that that's not for me. You like coming home every day and being up underneath someone 7 days a week. You like having to call him every 5 minutes when he's out with the married homeboys, and he hasn't come in until 2 or 3 in the morning, and you're calling and texting him every 5 minutes trying to figure out where he is. You like when he's at the grocery store and you have to constantly text him, don't forget that you married, boo. That may be you. But there are a lot of women who say, when he's my boyfriend, I don't have to check on that dude like that. That dude is grown, and I'm not going to babysit him, and he can do whatever it is that he do while I'm over here doing what I do. And that doesn't always mean that two people are not being loyal to each other. That is just two people who are not forced by a piece of paper that was subliminally put into your head that you have to have in the first place. But that's another subject. But there are some people that say, you know what, a piece of paper that isn't going to dictate to me how my relationship goes. I'm not saying one is right and one way is wrong. That's not where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to get people to stop trying to nag and belittle that other people think differently than you, and they are happy in their way of thinking and the way that they do. So we're going to talk about something that I used to do in my dating days back in the day. I'm going to share that thought with you guys in just a moment.
Truth is, I'm scared, cause when I see you coming, all I wanna do is tell you that I love you. I know you're better off without me, cause your tears stain eyes make it dark out when you're around me. Like a needle lost in the sand, the ink dried in my hand. It's unthinkable. Like a bird that never learned to fly, I shouldn't ask you to try. It's unthinkable, but loving you was easy. See, when it was just you and me. Since you wanna leave it, then I'll pick up the pieces. Yeah. You said I'm out of second chances, and I know that I'm not perfect, and this probably sounds really selfish, but I hate that I'm not with you. I just wish that I could tell you that my this time is the truth. I lost their trust, I understand, but do I have to be that man? It's unthinkable, but loving you was easy. See, just you and me. Since you wanna leave.
You know what, loving was just so much easier when it was just you and me. Me, myself, and I. Listen, this is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Coming from a person of what perspective I'm coming from, right? When I would say just in my earlier days of dating, I lived in Austin, Texas, and not very far down the road was an area called Fort Hood, Texas, right? So those familiar with, right? So the military base was not that far. And I would always go to 6th Street to party because, as I've told you guys so many times before, growing up in Austin, Texas, by the time I got into my teens, my late teens into my 20s, you know, I spent a lot of time partying on 6th Street. And I got all my partying out in my 20s. I think it was the ideal time to do so, right? Seeing people party after 40 is a whole nother podcast. But, you know, for me, and not saying that you shouldn't party, but some of you guys are partying like you're still 20 with a whole lot of responsibilities being ignored. And that is not my way. But so I partied in my 20s, right? And every time I would go to 6th Street, no matter what was going on, I maybe here or there would meet a college guy, right? Or maybe here or there would meet some guy that was traveling. But by the majority, I always met soldiers. And we were always ending up meeting, you know how it was back in the day. I'm going to throw in a little joke, but it's only for people from Austin. But you guys remember back in the day when the soldiers used to always come to Austin? They came to Austin all the time. And they probably still do so. But they used to party in Austin a lot. But there became this time when they kind of stopped because there was a lot of beef going on with the dudes from Austin, Texas, and the military soldiers. And so the military kind of had to cut in a little bit because it was like some real drama going on. I'm talking about it even got violent. And there was this song that was written, and some of the old school Austin people probably remember. If so, just tweet me, DM me. I don't remember the artist who sang it. But anyway, this dude had made a song, and he was like, oh, I'm just going to sing it for you. Probably out of tune, but that song always stay in my head. But he's like, oh, my baby left me for Army men because I lost my job again. And I'm lonely. Oh, you guys, that's ATX. ATX, you know what I'm saying? 4-5. Okay, so that's for people from Austin. You have nothing, if you're not from there, you don't understand. But anyway, but there was this time when, and I would constantly meet soldiers, back on topic, right? So I would constantly meet soldiers, and then I just kind of got into the point where after what I had been through, you know, if you read my book, then you know how I married. My first marriage was my high school sweetheart. And then after that, just like I had like incidents where it just wasn't working out for me to be around somebody that was in my same vicinity. So when I started dating soldiers, what I loved the most about it, here's the relevancy to our topic. What I loved the most about dating soldiers was seeing them on the weekend. Is anybody else like that? Like, I really love Monday through Friday, I already have to work. I have to get up. I have to take my children to school. I have to, go to work from 8 to 5. I get off at 5, take my children and either my sister or my mom going to watch my kids because me and my friends, we're going to go out. We go out Monday through Sunday, and so we have to get, all of our children gathered at one place, put them in pajamas so we can go hit the party, then coming back home 3, 4 in the morning, be at work by 8 and start all over again. And that was our Monday through Friday. So we loved dating soldiers because soldiers couldn't even always come into town Monday through Friday. So you really only seen them Friday through Sunday. And that was my flow. I enjoy where by the time you're seeing somebody, you're actually spending time with them. Right? Like you guys like that Monday through Friday, and I get it. You want that constant somebody underneath your gut, and I get it, girl. It's cold in these Denver streets. So I understand how people think like that. But there are some people out there that are a lot like how I was back then, that are like, you know what? If I'm going to cuddle with a guy, I'll do that Friday through Sunday. And then after that, I kind of need to breathe and regroup and get my life together and my mind and my thoughts. And then I'll see him again the next weekend, right? So that's how you end up with the type of women that are 40 plus saying, hey, he's just my boyfriend. He lives across town, or he lives in another state, or he lives in another country, and I see him when I see him. And they communicate on a constant basis, and they're okay with how things are. And both people may be okay with that flow, and that you don't have to knock it. There's nothing wrong with their way of doing things any more than it's your way of doing things with insisting on being married with the guy that you met 3 months ago. And I'm just, because y'all see him and y'all want to marry him the night y'all date him, the first night. Some of y'all want to get married an hour later. There's one girl I know. I'm joking about an hour later, but there is a girl that I know. She met a guy, and I think 3 days later they got married. Yeah, so, and then I think they divorced like 4 weeks after that. Or they split up 4 weeks after that. Hey, I'm not making these things up. She'll tell you the story herself. She even put his name tattooed on her foot. All within that whole month, they had like a whole love. And some people move like that, and I get it, but that's just not for everybody. So you don't have to knock the 40 plus women that say, you know what, he's just my boyfriend. That's my flow. I don't have to have my husband. My husband made some cornbread today. Girl, my husband in the bathroom. And some people, not everybody's into that. You guys stop knocking how people move. Some people are like, my boyfriend made cornbread and he brought it over. Like that's their flow, Some people are cool with just being single. You don't have to knock how people are, right? So shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Make sure that you remember that I am looking for a co-host, and I am so picky. So I am looking for a fabulous co-host, and we have to vibe on 1,000. So if you are interested, do DM me. When I get ready to start recording these sessions, I'm going to be recording in the podcast studio live in Denver. So probably need to kind of be in the Denver area because I'm really not going to be, paying your ticket to get here. No, I'm joking. But no, I am looking for a podcast host. And of course, I am growing the podcast. So we could talk about your little coins after you help my coins grow. But so if you're interested, make sure you DM me. But that's really all that I have on that. I'll come back and see if you guys have anything to say in the chat. But don't knock what. Just because that's not what you do, don't assume that that's what all straight women are about. Some straight women are really cool with just having a boyfriend. Some straight men are really cool with just having a girlfriend. And yes, boyfriend, girlfriend may be a weird title, but we didn't create it. We understand what the term means. The woman knows she's not a girl, and the man knows she's not a boy. Like, y'all just so anal about like the most simplistic of things in life. Like it's just a term, most of the time. If you're really relevant, people say BF and GF anyway. But who am I? So that's all that I have on that. I'll come back after I check the chat. All right, so I'll be back in a few.
All I ever heard was noise. All I ever heard was noise over my Nintendo. All I ever heard was noise. All I ever heard was noise.
Okay, lovers, that's all that I have for you on today's podcast. So make sure that you share it. I am your host, Dee Shields. Make sure that you are following me across social media. I am Dee Shields. You can, Google me. So you can go to Google hashtag I am Dee Shields and just pull up a list of different things. Make sure you spell it I am DEESHIELDS. So I am Dee Shields. IAMDEESHIELDS. Hashtag in front of it, and you should find a host of different things available for the show. If it's not about the show, then it's probably not me, okay? And that's all that I have. I hope that you enjoyed the topic. I hope it gave you major food for thought. And I'm not putting down one way or another. If you love being married, do that. If you love just being in a relationship that doesn't have that many close strings attached, then do that. Do what makes you happy, because if you're bringing cranky and bitter into whatever it is that you're doing, nobody got time for that. Nobody wants to be around that, and there's no love in that, and it's a whole lot of wasted energy, and you're just miserable for no reason at all. So it's, whatever, either way. I'm just saying that I'm not going to knock one person's way over the other. So I see a lot of that going on socials. I thought I would weigh in.
Yeah. Empty bottles of red wine laying on the floor from last night. We got a little drunk, yeah. Now I'm a little numb. Spending hours by your bedside, talking till it's dark out somehow. Can get you off my mind. Don't wanna say goodbye, bye. Maybe we should take it slow. I don't feel too comfortable jumping into something new right now. Yeah, I don't really know anymore how to feel something again. Think I'm just scared of falling. Don't wanna go all in. I don't really know anymore how to be more than your friend. Think I'm just scared of falling. Don't wanna go all in. Early mornings in your dome, I'll be sneaking out the door while the sun rises. Cause I ain't got the time, yeah. Can't tell another lie. And baby, I know you want more than this, but you know I can't afford your kiss. So I'm staying for the night.